So universal definition of marriage. So universal definition of marriage. Universal definition of marriage. So that means marriage as a social institution which exists every known society. So that we can say marriage is a social, universal social institution, right? So can we define a marriage that applicable, that definition should be applicable for all the societies? Like if you take the physics laws, so physics laws is same everywhere. Okay, physics laws is same everywhere. Or if you take the chemistry law, like H2 plus 2H, 2H plus O when they mix H2O. So this is universal law. Understand? It cannot change place to place. But when it comes to social laws, especially defining the social practices, can we get a universal social law? Can we get a universal definition applicable for all the societies? Why? Because we are not the inorganic material. We are all human beings. Human beings, no, guided by their practices, behaviors, and they have their own cultural practice. So every society, though it had the marriage, but it practices. Every society it has the marriage, but the marriage means it is biologically every human being required biological needs as well as reproductive needs. These needs are common for every human being and common for every societal survival. But the way they fulfill their biological needs, the way they will fulfill the reproductive needs may not be same everywhere. The fulfilling mechanism, that is marriage, present in everywhere. But the way of fulfilling may not be same in everywhere. Some societies do this one based on the monogamy. Some other societies do serial monogamy. Some others do polygamy, that is polygyny, polygynandry, group marriages. These are all the varieties present among the human beings to fulfill these two needs only. And apart from that, so marriage is a socio-cultural construct. Socio-cultural construct. Socio-cultural construct means every society, the way they fulfill these things have differences. Okay, every society, the way they fulfilling, it is identified, defined, or practices are coming to being based on the each society problems and opportunities. If you take the Khasas of Uttarakhand, they had a different set of problems. For that, they had chosen a polyandry. If you observe the Nilagiri tribes such as Thodas, Kotas, they too had the polyandry. That means every society may not have the same kind of problems and we cannot expect the same kind of solution. But every society, every individual have the same requirement. Same requirement, the way fulfilling the requirement, he is decided by their problems and opportunities. That is how the marriage is constructed by each and every society, suitable according to their problems and opportunities. That's why each society has their own set of construction related to the marriage. In this construction, so every socio-cultural construction means it vary based on the norms, values, customs, traditions, etc. So every society has the marriages, but marriage related norms, values, customs, traditions, which vary from society to society, they may not similar in all the societies. That's why it is the marriage is a socio construct in each and every society. Marriage is a universal because it fulfilling the biological needs and or reproductive needs. Now you can say, so what are all the problem to give a single definition which cover all the societies? So that definition we call as a universal definition. That definition we call as a universal definition. If a single definition which covers all the socio-cultural constructs, that is values, norms, morals, values, as well as the number of spouses. Number of spouses. So within the same definition, if the definition covered the number of spouses present in all the societies when it comes to marriage, the norms, values, traditions, customs should be fit in the same definition. That kind of definition we call as a universal definition. So universal definition. So nearly many anthropologists tried to give a single definition which covers all the variants or diversities present in the human societies when it comes to marriage. Though it is a universal institution, it is present in every societies, but it varies from society to society because they had constructed marriage in their different manner. The definition anthropologist goal is covering all these diversities of marriages within a single definition. So diversities of marriages within a single definition. That definition we call as a universal definition. Understand? First of all, you should know how many diversities are there. Diversities may be so many that we could not discuss or listed here. But some particular diversities we can observe. Okay. Some particular diversities we can observe. So what are all those diversities? So first of all, so ghost marriages, female marriages, they are present among the New Years. So ghost marriages as well as female marriages present among the New Years. Second one, male marriages, male to male marriages present among the Ajande. Present among the Ajande tribe, Nuer tribe of South Sudan, Ajande tribe of Western Africa, South Sudan. So the fourth one, Wanatao Trukis. Wanatao Trukis. So Wanatao Trukis of Wanatao Island, Trukis Island, their marriages we called as a Wanatao Trukis marriages. So next one, so Nayar's marriages. So next, so sixth one, Indian variety. So some of the gal is given to wife of a Jogini system, that we call as a Jogini system. Jogini system. Understand? So these are all some varieties we are going to discuss when it comes to marriages. And second thing is polyandry. Polyandry in India, Kasa, Galangs, and Nilagiri, Todas. So polygyny. I have given many tribes, polygyny practicing tribes. So group marriage tribes also already we have discussed. Group marriages. So these are all the number of spouses wise diversities. So now these definition, these varieties, these case studies first we will discuss. So these case studies first we will discuss. So these tribal practices we call as a case studies. Understand? So what is ghost marriage? That already I gave you hint of ghost marriage. If a person died without having the children, or if a person died without getting a marriage among the New Year, they had a belief that that deceased person would not get the rest in peace. So his soul to be get only peace in case if he has a wife, if he has a children. For that purpose, any one of the brother of deceased person or any father of the deceased person, anyone come forward to get a marriage in the name of deceased person, and they produced the progeny. And the woman and the children born for that woman belongs to that deceased person. That kind of marriage we called as a ghost marriage. Here the husband is the deceased person or died person. So died person. That's why this marriage is ghost marriage. So it happens in two ways. If a person died without marriage, if a person died after marriage without having the children, in these two cases, they get a marriage behalf of the deceased person and they will produce a progeny for him. So that is present among the New Years. So some of the societies, female marriages are there. That is also noted in the New Year tribe and among other tribes of the Africa. So in female tribes of other than Africa, other than this New Year, so it is like sexual satisfaction. So sexual satisfaction. So you can see this tribe has this tribe has a strict custom. They don't allow adultery. Okay, they don't allow extramarital affairs. If any married woman, she is unsatisfied sexually with the husband, she can have a sexual relationship with either divorced woman, widowed woman, or another married woman also allowed. So that means here it is not adultery, it is like a temporary arrangement for the female to get their sexual satisfaction. That is female marriages. Female marriages also found among the some of the societies. So even during the dowry time also, this bride price time also, we had the discussion. If a female hadn't produced any child for the husband, she will get marry another woman by paying the bride price, and she asked the any male behalf of her to exercise as a husband rights to produce the children, and that children belongs to the husband. So for say, this is the male married a woman by paying the bride price. Okay, she is barren, unable to produce a children. According to marriage agreement, she must produce a progeny. That's why bride price also called as a progeny price. Understand? If she is unable to pay a bride, she is unable to produce a children for the husband, she will give this bride price to another woman. So another woman, she will get married. So now this is called as a husband woman. This is called as a wife woman. Okay. So in this case, biologically it is impossible this woman to produce a children by having sex with the wife woman. She will ask the her husband or any other male to exercise sexual rights because of she is a husband. So on behalf of her, she would invite any male or her own husband to exercise sexual right over the wife woman to produce a child. That child is legally, socially belongs to the husband. This is how a barren woman should produce a child for the real husband. So this we call as a female marriages. Either it could be a unsatisfied woman with the husband and the society never allows adultery or extramarital affairs. They can choose another widow woman or another kind of unmarried woman or another kind of another woman for their sexual satisfaction. In another case, if a woman is unable to produce a child, she could marry another woman and act as a husband woman. She would ask the any male to exercise that sexual rights and produce a progeny that belongs to the first husband. This is the woman marriages or female marriages, also called as a woman marriages. So woman marriages or men marriages. So men marriages present among the Ajande tribe. So how it is different means Ajande tribe, so Ajande tribe, they follow a Ajande tribe, they have a wealth-based stratification and polygyny, and they allow wealth-based differentiation among the individuals plus polygyny. Here, most wealthy men choose multiple wives. So your woman also interested to get marry a wealthy person because her status would be improved. So just like warrior people in the Ajande society. The warrior people have the properties. Warrior people could attract the more number of women and he would get married. So that warrior or wealthy people practice polygamy. What about that common man? So common man have the scarcity of female to get the marriage. In this situation, a common person pays a bride price to the another family by marrying a boy from this family. That means this person, though he may be 30 years or 20 years, he marries a boy belongs to another family. Till the time he would satisfy sexual needs with this boy only. So when would he liberated? So in this case, in this family, if a female born and she got matured, and when they surrendered that female to this person, this boy is liberated. Otherwise, this boy has to do a female type of sexual satisfaction to this man. This we call as a men-men marriages among the agenda. The reason is scarcity of women. Wealthy people would get more number of wives. So common people, because lack of sufficient money, lack of availability of the woman, they marry another boy belongs to another family. They will liberate this boy once this family surrendered a woman. Okay, then otherwise he could not liberate that boy. So he will derive the sexual satisfaction through that boy only. This we call as a male-male marriages or men-men marriages. So are you getting or not? Agenda marriages of male-male. So like imagine a society where individual differentiation identified by using a wealth. And here wealthy individual would get more number of women, as many as possible. And women also interested to get the wealthy people because their children's status would be improved. So in this case, poor people, common people, due to lack of resources, could they get the wife? Means here most of the female are married the rich people. The poor people, common people, getting a female wife is difficult. Understand? So this scarcity of females for get married. They choose a boy from another family to get married. Till the family produce a girl and surrender a girl to this husband who had paid the bride price. Till the time the husband boy will do sexual satisfaction with the wife boy. So if this family surrendered a girl, then wife boy will be liberated from the wife post. He would be act as a autonomous and he would get the marriage. So this is how male-male marriage.
Not audible, sir.
Now is it audible or not?
Audible, sir.
Okay. So agenda tribe, why do they get married? Male-male marriages. Now you got clarity, right? So why do they marry? Agenda tribe. So due to wealth-based differentiation and lack of girls for the below downtrodden or poor people. So this is the agenda tribe. Why do they get married? Male marriages. So it is allowed. They do their kind of own setup for their sexual satisfaction. It is the society decide. So Vanatavo and Trukis. So this is the islands where if a boy liked a girl and a girl also liked a boy, in this situation, there is no need of approval of any other member in their society. They directly indulge in the sexual activity. And in this situation, if she got pregnant, she will deliver a boy. In this case, if the girl married another man after birth of a child, the child belongs to the husband, but not the premarital male person. So this is the practice allowed in one of our true case. Premarital sex relationships are allowed, in which if any progeny born, the progeny belongs to the married husband, but not the premarital relationship male. So that is the diversity present in the Vanatavo and the true case. Understand? Are you clear? So here father would comes from nurturing or biologically. So fatherhood comes from nurturing or biologically. Nurturing means raising the child. So biologically means they had the biological relationship between wife, male and female, through which he give the birth. So biological relationship is not the socially approved fatherhood. It is the who raises the child. That is the fatherhood approved by the society. That means fatherhood is changes from society to society. Understand? So Nayar's marriage. This is very peculiar marriage. So before discussing the Nayar's marriage, I will discuss about the Jogini system. So what is this Jogini system, or whatever the alternate name for the Jogini system? Jogini, as well as Jogini system term they used in Telangana. In another region, what name they use it? Do you know Jogini system? So earlier, caste Hindus such as Varnas, Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Sudras, they had the practice of dowry. So these untouchable category people, has bride price. But over a period of time, these untouchables resorted or imitated the practices of Varna, that is dowry. Understand? So it became a norm after many generations. Even the Dalit or Harijanas getting marriage also required a dowry. So a person, a father unable to pay the dowry, he has only one option: either remaining or his daughter as a unmarried, or in this case marrying that daughter to a god. Marrying that daughter to a god. So that village has the temples, temple deity they chosen as a son-in-law, and she would marry to that temple deity, that is temple god. That practice we called as a Jogini. Because her husband is present in the temple, she always serve the temple activities like dancing in the temple premises, cleaning the temple premises. So most of the time carrying the water to the temple. So because her rest of the time she serves the husband present inside a temple. But here she was sexually used by the that temple priest, village elders. Those are the rich merchants, and it's like a prostitution. If anybody wanted her, so if they offer something, she has to sleep with that males. So in this relationship, if children are born, that children belongs to the god. Understand? So this relationship, that means in modern time it criticized as a prostitution kind of things present in the Hinduism. But earlier, so those unable to get married, so due to dowry issues, they would get marry the deity as a husband. In this situation, she was exploited by all the village and elders or people who are the rich landlords. So through which whatever the children born, that children are belongs to the god. So this is the Jogini system, which is mostly present in the southern India, but it was prohibited after independent India. Jogini system. So I think there is one more name. What is that name?
Devadasi system, sir.
Jogini and Devadasini system. Devadasini. Deva means God. Dasini means servant. So after her marriage, she became a servant for the god, but sexually exploited. We cannot say exploited. It is a cultural being, sexually used by the females, that village elders, rich landlords, rich farmers, as well as priest and everybody. In this relationship, if children are born, that belongs to the god only, but not any individual member of that village. Understand? So this is the Devadasini or Jogini system. Deva means it's a god. Dasini means a servant. Okay. So Ashantis of Ghana. This is somewhat difficult story. So Ashantis of Ghana. So Ashantis of Ghana, they practice village endogamy. Ashantis, village endogamy. So village endogamy means a boy must be married from the girl belongs to same village, that we call as a village endogamy. Endo means where the boy has the membership he should be pick the girl from the same group. Understand? So he has the membership in a village. He should get married from the same village. That we call as a village endogamy. So here it is a households, not the family. Households are there. So a brothers present here, sisters present here. Okay. In another family, brothers are present, sisters are present. So this is a big house, we can say. Another family, brothers are present, sisters are present. So due to incest taboo, they could not marry among them. So this girl married a boy belongs to another group. So this is their, this is the couple. And this girl married a boy belongs to another group. This girl married another boy. So this is how husband is present in their household. Wife is present in their household. Understand? It's not the family. Family means husband compulsory. That means before marriage, they stay in the household. After marriage with the man belongs to another group. Still she stays with the brothers only, brothers and sisters. Okay, she visit the husband during night time and early morning she will come back to her household. So in this process, it is a monogamy. Okay, adultery not allowed. Okay, this all the things are not allowed, strictly monogamy, but they are not residing in the same place, but not residing in the same, residing in not same house. So residing in same house. Same house. Here, children, if the children born to that woman, which group they belongs to? Is it mother's group? Is it father's group? So children belongs to mother group. The children are raised, trained by mother's brothers because they don't also change the group. So here, this husband's sisters also present here. These sisters are married, males belongs to another household. If children are born for these sisters, here the children are raised by this woman's brothers. Now the responsibility of the children fall under the maternal uncles or biological father. Second question, are both wife and husband staying in a same house? Are they staying in the different houses? That you should remember the 2 points. Next one is children's, they eat at the mother's house. During the night time, if any delicious dish made by the mother would be carried by the children to the father house. Understand? That means they have the relationship wife and husband, but they are staying in different places. During the evening time, it is a common situation. People from children from different houses, they carry the dishes on their heads, moving out between the houses. So that we observe. This is the local residency. So local residency. So means what? Means two residences are there for the wife and husband. So if a woman married a boy and she changed her house from parents to husband home, that we call as a patrilocal residency. These things would come in the next chapters. Residencies based on the marriages. So local residence means for both wife and husband, they have the 2 residencies, but they are not residing under a single residency. So now, are you sure about the Ashantis? So residencies are 9 types or 10 types are there. So where do they stay? Newlywed couple after their marriage. That is a separate question we will discuss later. So next thing we can see. So years of marriage. So years of marriage is very peculiar thing. So have you written all those things? Years of marriage and everything. So Jogini, Devra.
Yes, sir.
So years of marriage. So years is a matrilineal society. So Nayar's society is a matrilineal society. So matrilineal society means all the sisters and their children and their brothers also stay in the same household, similar to that of what we have seen in the Ashantis. Okay, brothers and sisters and their children, everybody present here. The group we called as a Tarwada. The head of the Tarwada is a eldest male. Here eldest male means eldest brother in the living generations, eldest male. So the property of the group, is present in the name of woman. That means women inherit the property. Inheritance of the property generally move from female to female. Here these women, they will get married. This is the head of the household is nothing but head of this Tarwada is nothing but a eldest living male. So that is the eldest brother of this woman. Understand? They are the sisters, they are the brothers. Eldest brother is nothing but a head of the Tarwada. So here children are there, right? Present. If for suppose in a Tarwada, old people are there, reproductively active people are there. This is the group we can say. And these children are there. I am imagining like a 3 generations. Okay, 3 generations. So this is like a 60 plus age group. This is like 20 to 50 age group. Okay, this is like 1 to 20 years age group we can say. Okay, this is how children are present, middle aged are present, or 60 plus old age people are present. So among this old age group, they are the brother and sisters. Oldest brother became a head of the group that we call as a Tarwada head. Understand? So now this Tarwada has like a 50 members or 100 members, collectively property owned by the woman. The property transmitted to the next generation from female to female, not the female to son, mother to son, it is not passed. Female to daughter only, mother to daughter only passed. So here, so these are all the brothers forever stay in this group. Understand? Just like Ashantis, they are forever stay in this group. So similarly, other Tarwadas are there. So that society organized as a Tarwadas or households we can say. So this adopt this Tarwada, arranged marriages for the in these 3 generations, boys are there, girls are there. The children generation, boys and girls are there. So in this generation, they arrange a communal marriages like whoever having the 7 to 11 years before reaching the puberty or starting of menstrual cycle, the age group between 7 to 11 years of the girls, they are collectively married to the another Tarwada individuals, other Tarwada boys. So that means this is like in modern sense child marriages. Understand? In our modern sense, these are all child marriages, right? So before reaching the puberty, their marriage should be finalized. Otherwise, the girl is ineligible to the marriage. Understand? So the girl is ineligible to the marriage, so that they could take care that the girl marriage should be finished before reaching the first menstrual cycle or puberty, whatever we called. So now, for say in this generation, 6 girls are present in age group between 7 and 11, and they hadn't reached the first menstrual cycle. 7 girls were married by 7 boys of different Tarwadas, but not the same Tarwada. Same Tarwada comes under brother and sisters. So now, in this process, so 7 boys, 7 girls, they marry. It is a monogamy. So the marriage is ceremony time. So marriage is ceremony. So how it takes place? In southern India, marriage means a fire altar is there. So fire altar present like this. In this fire altar, the fire comes this around. So the boy and girl take a rotations. This around boy and girl after wedding, after marriage, they take a rounds, 7 rounds. So that is the ceremony. So here they should cut their hands. The boy wears a pajama. Okay, that is traditional dress. Girl also wears a traditional dress. Both boy dress and girl dress, they knot each other, and they have to take the hands and they have to rotate around the fire for 7 times. For 7 times. So after this rotation is over, the priest separate this cloth knots and separate these hands That is the permanent separation between the wife and husband. So permanent separation. So permanent separation. So this ceremony we called as a Thali Kattu ceremony. Thali Kattu ceremony or Kalyanam. Thali Kattu Kalyanam or Thali Kattu ceremony. Thali is nothing but a sacred thread. So that tied by a boy around the girl's neck. That we called as a thali in Telugu language. Same thali also used in the Malayali language, because all the languages are similar in it comes to the marriage terms. So thali kattu kalyanam, or wearing a boy tied a sacred thread around the neck of a girl. So this, after this process is over, taking the 7 rounds around the fire and separation of their hands as well as the clothing knot, that is formal separation of the wife and husband, and they should not converse each other. So conversation, sexual interaction, and seeing each other is prohibited. After that separation, both cannot be conversed, both cannot be seen each other, both could not be have indulged any sexual activity. So this is the first marriage for them, and first husband has no rights. So if the boy stays in the Tarwada, he might have seen the wife, he might have do any kind of activity. That's why the boys were never allowed to stay in the Tarwada. They should reside in their Tarwadas only, in their families only. So now when this girl reached to the maturity, so maturity after puberty, so she has the option to have relationships with Nambudri Brahmins. So Nambudri Brahmins, they are the elite in Malayali society. So Nambudri Brahmins, they had the agraharas or huge tracts of the land, and they are some kind of wealthy and some political power also present. So this is how Nair women allowed, a married Nair woman allowed a sexual relationship with the Nambudri men. So these Nambudri men already got married, they had their own wife, they had their own children, but they could maintain a relationship with Nair girls who are married. In this relationship, if any child is born, so here the condition is like a woman's status in Nair society decided how many men she could attract from the Nambudris. If many men is shown interest on a particular woman in a Tarwada, her status increases in the Tarwada. Understand? That means it is not one-to-one relationship. She could have n number of relationship with the Nambudri men. So if more men is attracting to her, means her status in their Tarwada as well as Nair society increases. So in this kind of multiple men, single woman sexual interaction, if any children are born, that children, that means one of the visiting husband, these we call as a visiting husbands. They come to the night time, they finish their work, they will go away. So they will go away to their home where his wife is there, children are there. So here the children born to that woman, any one of the visiting husband should pay the expenses of her delivery. Understand? That means one of the visiting husband claimed that he was the reason for the childbirth. For that reason, he is paying the childbearing experiences or delivery experiences. If no visiting husband claimed the child father status, the girl would be expelled from the Tarwada. Understand? So that is the reason the fathership from the Nambudris, any one of the visiting husband should bear the expenses, then only she will be permanently continued in the Tarwada. Otherwise, they will throw out of the Tarwada that female and her children. So this is how they have a permanent arrangement. So here that Nambudris, if multiple Nambudris are attracted to a single woman, each Nambudri husband, he would offer some lands to that woman. Okay, if she has relationship with 50 Nambudri men, 50% if each one donated 5 acres to that woman, that Tarwada wealth would be increased. Understand? The brothers of this Tarwada, they oversee the cultivation of that land belongs to Tarwada. They raise the children born to the women in this Tarwada. That means here maternal uncles are playing the role of raising the children, cultivating the land that is getting by the Tarwada women through Sambandha relationship. Understand? So this is how Tarwadas were continued as a matrilineal society. So now Kathleen Guff and others studied Narwada system. Does they have marriage system at all? So now you can tell me, does Nayars have marriage or not? So here, though technically the wife and husband in the Talikattu ceremony, they separated. The girl, so that wife would weep during the death of the husband. That is Tali Tayar. That means their relationship would be continued beyond after separation or not. So the wife weeps or wife cries or mourning observed when the first person who tied the tali died, and the children born to that woman through Nambudris, they call the tali tire as a appan. Okay, so appan means it is a father term. So ayya is a father term. They called the children born for the Nambudri woman, born for the Nayar woman through Nambudris. They called, that means here Tabo is present between the wife and husband, but not the children and the father. So the children born for the Nayar woman through Nambudri men, they call the Tali Tayar as a Ayyan, that means father. And that same child call the Nambudri Brahmins as a Appan. Appan means the Lord. So that means a child used the two terms for a Tali Tayar, that is Ayyan, the visiting husband as a Appan. That means here Ayyan means a father term. That means the marriage between woman and her husband who tied the Tali would be continued beyond their separation. When this father Ayyan died, the wife observed the mourning rituals. That means their relationship is not ended accordingly, formal separation. It would be continued. But they cannot reside in the same homes. They cannot see each other. They cannot converse. They cannot have any sexual relationship. But their wife and husband relationship is continued till their death. That's why she observed the mourning ritual whenever the Tali Tayar died. So this is the Nayar society marriage. Who? So Tarwada boys, they marry another Tarwada girls. Okay. So they might satisfy sexual desires, but not with the wife. So they never said boys should not have a sexual desires, boys should not fulfill their sexual desire, but it should not be with the wife to whom he tied a tali. The tabo is between them. So here in visiting husbands, if a Nayar boy has a wealth other than his own wife, he could also become a visiting husband for the another Nayar woman if he has the properties to donate. Understand? Here Nayar boys also could satisfy their needs, but not with the wife, but with another woman in the same society. Okay, by donating some kind of, that means these sambandha relationships. So Nayar women should have a sambandha relationships with two types of people. One is Nambudri Brahmins, another one is Nayar boys. But a Nayar woman should not have a sexual relation with the Tali Tayar, that is also a Nayar boy. But she should have a sambandha relationship with another Nayar boys if she permitted, and if the boy donated some lands to the Tarwada. Understand? So mostly these Nair boys acted as a this kind of soldier community. They are the warrior and gods. They are mostly keep away from their villages on their journey to war, on their serving to the Nambudri families as a gods or royal palaces as a gods. Their availability in the villages are very less. Understand? They might be die in the war. They might not come after serving in the army and etc. So this is how they made a alternate arrangement for the girls. So this is how Tharwadas are continued generation after generation. So it was okay when they wrote about the different societal ethnography, like 100 years ago, Kerala, it has Nair society. Now the Nairs are completely turned towards the patriarchy. They observe the monogamy due to modern constitution. Okay, all these things got ended. They are also living like us. By mistake, if you visited Kerala and if you have a conversation with a Nair boy, you would not ask this one because it was practiced by their forefathers, but not in the right now generation. They are upper caste, agrarian people. So everywhere agrarian people are post-independent time turned into a strong political people. Understand? So now they served as a central ministers. They served some chief ministers. This was the society prior to 1900. Okay, traditional society. Like every society got impacted, they too impacted. They changed from matrilineal to patrilineal, monogamy. This kind of all the Tharwadas disbanded. Nuclear families emerged, well educated. They are doing white collar jobs. They they neglected that agriculture and everything. So that society had transformed tremendously. You cannot observe these kind of practices. Whatever we are discussed, those were the traditional societies. Every society got impacted. Understand? So this is how different varieties are there. So now by putting all these variations in our context, and we will take every anthropologist definition or his efforts to give a single definition, whether it is covering all the societies or not. If it is covered, it is a universal definition. If it is not covering single society, that we called as a not universal definition. And if you want, I will tell you one more society. Na society of China. So Na society of China. So this is very oldest matriarchy. So oldest matriarchy. So similar type of Tharwada, women and their brothers. Women and their brothers. And each woman has children. This woman has the children. And these every woman have again children. So women can given by only female. So they have the children. So each woman has the children. So this is the 3 generation I have written. 3 generations I have the written. It is similar type of Tharwada of Kerala. But here, this is a big compound. In this compound, every female has her own nest. This is the female nest. So this is the female nest. This is the female nest. This is the female nest. Female nest. So there might be a bigger compound like male nests also. So where the males are living. Males are living. This is. But every female has their own nest in their compound. Okay. So this is the households. These kind of households are present only in this kind of Na society. Households. So it is not the family. Family means husband, father. It should be present. Here there is no husband and father. So here a woman can invite any male belongs to another household. Okay, because she has her own pod, her own hut. So that boy directly visited the invited girl's house. He will stay in that night. She will leave that. He will leave that in the early morning. So again tomorrow she might invite the another male. they will come and they will sleep and they will go. In this process, in this relationship, if any children are born, that children are belongs to that household, but not the any individual male. So the children are reared, raised by the males of that group. So this is like oldest matriarchy. So now you can see similarly. So here, is there any marriage involved? Women has absolute freedoms in their society. They can invite any male other than their own brothers to night. She might invite the same male in the next day, or she might invite the different males. There is no permanency between the male and female. Permanency absent. So no kind of adultery concept in their society. Adultery, extramarital affairs, because marriage is not, there is no marriage term in their language. So in Hindi it is called shadi, in Telugu it is called pelli. That means to define this process, every language has their own terms that is equivalent of marriage. So they have no term of father, no term of husband, no term of husband. So now the recreation, that reproduction is occurred to. So temporary unions, one night unions only. So these one night unions are the reason for the birth of the children, but males have no right over the children because nobody traces to whom the children are born. But the children are property of the woman and woman is property of the household. So this is how this society is continued as a society without having the marriage and the family. So do you find any marriage here? Do you find any marriage here? So now you can tell me, does Nayars have marriage or not? Does Nayars have marriage or not?
Yes, sir.
So does Ashantis of Ghana have marriage or not? Ashantis of Ghana.
Yes, sir.
So now you can tell me, what is the commonality among Ashantis of Ghana, Ashantis of Ghana, Nayars of India, Nayars of India, and Na of China, Na society of China? What is the commonality here?
Wife and husband
matrimonial.
not reside at the same place.
So all are belongs to women groups or not? All are belongs to women groups only. So women have control over the household. Women owns the property. Women are the decision maker. Here, as brother's role is only raising the children born for the women. Understand? So these are earliest Paleolithic ways of marriages, because they were rejected by the many societies. They transformed into another ways of marriages. But these societies are remained as it is of Paleolithic way of life. Even among these three, the Ashantis got the marriage concept, Nayars got the marriage concept, but still retained the freedom movement, women freedom. And Na societies, they haven't changed anything. They are absolutely exercising the women freedom. Understand? So here, structure wise, are they same or not? So, but somewhat changed group is Ashanti by having monogamy, but they never change the household also. Understand? So that means earliest, I told you, like in many cases, if any custom is present very less in number, that was the ancient way. So this is how Na society is curiously studied by everybody. So they don't have any property concept. They don't have jealous. They don't have anger. Everything. They are residing in between hilly areas, mountain forest areas, very happily. An anthropologist and everybody wonder, and they are going, and these people are fearing about they might change these people culture. The oldest evidence surviving on the earth, once women ruled over the earth on the males. So in our society, woman is ruling or male is ruling? So she has the choice to decide today night what she has to do, or it is like a male decides. So do you agree that women had once ruled over the male or not? The evidence is Na society. The evidence is Nair society. The evidences are from Ashanti society. But a little bit they impacted by the other societies. Ashantis borrowed the concept of marriage. Nairs had borrowed the concept of marriage. Still they give the importance for the women freedoms. In Na society, because they're geographically isolated, they weren't touched by the outside people cultural contacts. So this is how you can see. So now marriage, first of all, is it universal? Do you agree? So forget about the definition. First of all, the institution itself present in every known human society. So Vijaya can answer this better. Is marriage found in all the known human societies? Yes or no?
No, sir. In our society, there is no concept of marriage.
Not only marriage, there is no term of father, no term of marriage, no term of any kind of. So marriage term is absent, father term is absent, husband term is absent. So these are all present in all the language wherever marriage is present. So can we say marriage is universal or near universal? If you don't have written about the Na society, you can write it as a universal. If you use the Na society in your answer, you have to write like a marriage is a near universal. Near universal, in bracket you have to mention except Na society. Except Na society, they thought that you have bundle of knowledge in your brain. So many faculties doesn't know. I popularized this Na society by taking the EPG Pathshala or government sources. So unfortunately, those copycats are getting more name and fame. So now we can see this is the thing. So now we have the complete concept. Now we will divide the anthropologist into two types. Classical anthropologist. So classical anthropologists and modern anthropologist. So modern anthropologist definition. So when it comes to classical anthropology, the old generation people who tried to give the definition which covers all the varieties. So those are all Western mark. So Western mark. So next, Malinowski and RC Brown. So notes and queries. Modern anthropologist. So GP Murdoch. Fifth one, Kathleen, so Dublin Stephens. And sixth one, Kathleen Guff. You should remember marriage definitions of these 6 people to attempt this question because it is a long answer question. At least 5 to 6 people, important definitions, we try it and we prove it. Everybody failed to cover a single definition, all varieties. That is our aim. So how do you attempt this answer means? First you have to write classical anthropologist and you say that everybody of classical anthropologist failed to give a modern definitions. And a modern anthropologist entered into the field, they tried to give the definitions, they too failed to give a unified definition for all societies. So Western mark, Malinowski and RC Brown, and third one is notes and queries, fourth one is GP Murdoch, fifth one is Dublin Stephens, sixth one Kathleen Guff. So now can I take the definitions of each one? And we can prove it is failed, covering all the diversities. So early definitions of marriage, classical anthropologist view. So Western mark in 1891, he had given a definition. Okay, It is a marriage is a union between a male and a female. So he said that it is a union between a male and a female. A male and a female. Or else a man and a woman. A man and a woman. So marriage is a lawful or customary union with rights and duties between a man and a woman. That is the definition. So now you can tell me, so can we consider it is a universal definition? So where it is failed? So woman marriages. So male marriages. So next, Nayars. A woman has multiple husbands in the form of visiting husbands as well as Thali tire. Okay. So Nayar society it is failed. So ghost. So you can write these three varieties. Okay. So you can write it more, but it is failed here. So next, Malinowski and Radcliffe Brown, they too said that a marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman. You can take that other things also, right? So a man and a woman, right? So not only that, polygamy is failed or not? Polyandry societies, can they cover under the definition of Western mark? Polygynandry covers group marriages. Are these varieties covers or not? They are also, these practicing societies also not covered by the Western mark definition. So Malinowski and Radcliffe Brown, so they too said that marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman. Okay, in which the children born to that woman considered as a both legal father and mother. Understand? Here they are focusing on spouses. Two spouses only must be present, and two genders are there, a man and a woman. And these people, through marriage, they get the children. That children are legitimate children of this woman as well as her husband. So where it is failing? You can name it what societies it is failing. So obviously a woman and a man and a woman means all these things comes under. Understand? So jurality, legality. So the husband is legal for the child, or the child giver is the legal father of a child. So these exceptions we have to show. Understand? In Nair society, who is the father? Is it Thali Tayar or it is the Nambudri Brahmin? The person who married the Gal, can he become a father of a child, or Nambudri Brahmin became a father of child?
Nambudri, sir.
So Nambudri is not the father. According to their society, Thali Tayar is the father. But progeny, who are the genetical father, biological father? Nambudris. Understand? So here, jurality comes to the one place. But biological, that means according to their definition, the male must be a biological father, social father. Understand? At a time it should be. But here, one is biological father, another one is social father. One of our true keys. Here, if a woman married after becoming a mother, who became a father of child? Is it the biological father or married person? So jurality is the same everywhere. It changes based on the society. So those who had a male and a female who had sexual relationship, they produced a progeny. The progeny is legal child for the wife and husband. That means who entered into the relationship. In one of our true case, both entered the relationship, they produced a child. If she married to another man, the child is not belongs to the progenitor or biological person. So it is exception or not? Nayars are exception or not? Nair boy or girl calls, so Thali Tayar as a father, but biological father is different. Understand? So some societies, marriage is not at all required to get the children. That means the children legitimacy comes through marriage only. In some societies, marriage is not at all required to get the children. Marriage not at all required. So example, one at our true case. One at our true case. Understand? So now what about Jogini system? Jogini, Devadasni. Biological father is different and the socially recognized father is the deity. What about the Nayars of Kerala? Nayars of Kerala. So here in Jogini system, women married a god. Understand? But biological father is not the god. So these are all not falling under the definition of Malinowski and R.C. Brown. Do you agree or not? A union should be formed by both sexes, that is a male and a female, a woman or a man. In this case, from their relationship, if child is born, the child is the legal child for that child. Both male and female are the legal father and mother. Here, children are born with different persons and the persons are not becoming legal fathers. Understand? So Nambudri Brahmin is not a legal father. Okay. So one of our truth is the premarital sex boy is not a legal father. Okay. So in Jogini system, the deity is not a legal father. Deity is a legal father, but biological father is different. Understand? So this is how exceptions are there for Malinowski and R.C. Brown, so that this definition also considered as a not universal definition. So because it emphasized on legitimacy, not just sexual access. So the legitimacy only it is talking about who are doing with the sex with the woman or who are becoming the biological father. It does not talk about the biological father. It only talk about the legitimate father, that is social father. So same-sex union, matrifocal societies. Do you know matrifocal societies? In Caribbean islands. So what are all the Caribbean islands? Caribbean islands. So do you ever heard West Indies cricket team? West Indies cricket team. West Indies. So do you find a country with the name of West Indies?
Yes, sir.
Huh? Do you have a country named with West Indies?
No, sir. Team is there.
Have a
West
cricket
Indies.
team. So all the islands in Caribbean Sea formed into a single cricket team that we call as a West Indies. Do you know East Indies means? Dutch called East Indies also. East Indies means Indonesia is East Indies for them. Different islands, when they clubbed together under one name, that became a Indies, East Indies. West Indies means Caribbean islands. In Caribbean islands, it is a norm, white woman marries a black man. Black man. And they reached such a stage, the women never get marry anyone. Okay. So nearly 40% of families are matrifocal families in their society. Matrifocal means mother-centric families. Matrifocal. Focal means centric. Mother-centric families. Here, the woman enjoys absolute freedoms. She stay with any man, one night stands, fluid relationship, anything, without have permanency between male and female. So male and female permanence is not present. Women enjoy with multiple males. In this process, children are born. So because there is no commitment between the male and female, so the children belongs to women only, and that family is nothing but mother and children's. Mother and children's. This we call as a matrifocal family. There is no marriage for her. There is no husband for her. So this families we call as a matrifocal families. Understand? Can these matrifocal families or comes under the jurality? Which male is the jural father for these children? There is no jurality. So jural mother is there, but father there is no. Why? Because she had a one night stands or other kind of temporary arrangements. There is no fixed arrangement to presume that this particular male is the father for a child. So this is how these kind of marriages are not covered. This kind of relationships are not covered under the jurality condition. Okay. So this is the second definition of the Malinowski and R.C. Brown. So third one. So you can write women marriages of the home is Okay, ghost marriage among the New Year's defy the classical definitions. Okay, Nair case India, no economic, sexual unity or nuclear family. Wife and husband never share economic obligations, sexual obligation, and no formation of the family for them. So wife and husband never stay in the same house. There is no nuclear family. Concubinage relations of Jamaica Negroes lack cohabitation and fatherhood. So this we call as a concubinage relationship. Concubinage means, so during the Jamindar time, so the Jamindar has a wife and children, but he has a side chicks or side kind of families are there. So here he visit and come, but the children are not recognized as a Jamindar's children. Understand? So this we call as a concubinage relationship. So those are all heavily present in the Jamaica Negroes. Jamaica is present in the Caribbean island only. Okay. So here men spend with the women sometime and he will go to his house. Okay. In this relationship, it might not be a single man. Multiple men she invite. Men also take some time with any female and they produce the children, that female. But that male and female has no permanent relationship between them. So that we call as a concubinage relationship of Caribbean island. That result into a matrifocal families. Understand? The matrifocal families, jural fatherhood is not recognized. Who is the father? That question is not recognized. So these definitions are also not fall under the category of universal definitions. Notes and queries also same kind of definition. Here jural they use like a legitimate father and mother. Okay. So notes and queries, R.C. Brown and Molineski, they talk about the jurality and legitimacy of the mother and father. So that's why both are same. So Murdoch definition, this we call as a modern definitions. So marriage, according to him, marriage is a universal. So marriage is a group of people in which both sexes are present. So he gave a definition like marriage is a group of people in which both sexes are present and so two of them have socially approved sexual relationship. Socially approved sexual relationship comma reside in same house do share the economic activities and have a reciprocal contract with children. That type of group we called as a family formed through marriage. So according to him, it is a universal institution. Marriage is universal. It is a group of people in which sexes are both present. That means marriage should be between a male and female according to him also. So sexes of both present, both sexes, male and female should be present, and two of them between the male and female, at least one male and female should have a socially approved sexual relationship and they reside together in the same place or same house and they have a contract with, they share the economic labor, each other whatever produce, they share the sexual monopoly, they share the they have a contract with the children born, they raise the children when they are the childhood. When they became old, children has to support them. That is reciprocal contract with the children. So first they produce the children, they support it. And when the parents became older, children has to support. That is the reciprocal contract between the younger and elder generation. So this group is technically called as a marriage. Okay. So marriage has place of residency. Both whoever involved in the sexual activity should reside in the same place. And it should be happened between the male and female. And they should get the progeny. These kind of group only marriage and which formed a family. Understand? So now you can see What are all the exceptions for here? So residential cohabitation, both should live in the same place. Economic cooperation, reproduction function. So both support each other and both should produce their children. Three functions are involved or not. So in these three functions violated things you can specify. Nayars cannot reside together. Ashantis cannot reside together. Okay. Any other things? Nayars and Ashanti failed under the residential. So Devadasini you can remove it. Residential we are talking about. Nayars and Ashanti. So Nayars and Ashanti failed residential conditions. And they also failed the economic also. Women earns belongs to our children as well as the brothers in the Ashanti. Okay. So same economic condition also. Reproductive conditions, Nayar failed. So Nayars failed. But Ashanti covered. Ashanti covered. So what about that matrifocal families? Matrifocal families also, both sexes are not residing together. Matrifocal families. So matrifocal families also failed. Any other varieties? Any other varieties which not comes under the Murdoch definition? So what about that kibbutz? So I already discussed about kibbutz, right? Only wife and husband stay in their home. Okay. If their children are born, to whom they have to give the children? So here kibbutz, different families, they live under a same compound. Children are given for a kibbutz school. Now children are residing with the family? No. So whatever wife earns, that belongs to husband. Whatever the husband earns, that belongs to wife. No, that belongs to the entire kibbutz. Entire kibbutz, they work for, not for each other. So only one condition, they are residing together, but children are not staying with them. Economic cooperation is absent among them. That's why kibbutz of Israel, Jamaican Negroes, they cannot cover under the Murdoch definition. Yeah, Lalitakala, which definition, which societies are not fall under the, which society is not covered by GP Murdoch? Which society is not covered by the definition given by the Murdoch? Are you there? Yes, you can tell me.
Kibbutz.
Kibbutz, that is only one. Kibbutz. After kibbutz, Nayars of Kerala. Okay, Jamaica marriages, Jamaica Negroes. Okay, Nayars of India. These are all the things of exceptions for Murdoch definition too. So now, so marriage is not required for legitimacy or co-residence in many societies. So in our society, live-in relationships are there. So do they require any marriage to wife and husband to reside together? Do they compulsorily to get married in our modern societies? So living relationship is a accepted norm in India. Some societies legalized it as a marriage. We are not at legalized as a marriage, but societies are giving, in Indian society also giving houses for the living couples. So that means the owners or society, they are accepting. So next, Kathleen Guff. Where is Dublin Stephens? Yes, we will see Dublin Stephens. So marriage is a public marriage is a public event. The marriage should have a ceremony in which public to be invited, and the relationship should be permanent between the couple who entered into the union, and it have a sexual monopoly between the couple entered into the union, and they have a reciprocal obligations. So public pronouncement, permanency, and sexual activity allowed between a male and a female, that we called as a marriage. So what should not be fit here? Nayars, kibbutz, Ashanti, Ogio. Okay, that this remove that, whatever familiar you can say. Nayars, why it is not fit? Because it is not the sexual union. They are kibbutz. Why? So they don't have obligation towards the children. So they have obligation towards the children. But here there is no obligation of the kibbutz couples towards the children. It is the kibbutz obligation. So Ashantis. So why Ashantis? They have publicly married. They have the sexual union. So they have the permanent relationship, one-to-one only, with obligations on the child. Does that father have obligation on the child in the Ashantis? Are you getting or not? Ashantis, kibbutz, Nair, they failed due to obligations, permanency, public announcement. Nair's marriages are publicly held. Okay, that is Talikattu Kalyanam. So it is permanent, but lack the sexual union, lack the obligation towards the children. So obligations that couples have obligations towards the children. Obligations towards the children. So lack of these obligations towards the children we can observe among the Nayars, kibbutz as well as Ashantis. Understand? So are you clear? Anup, are you getting or not?
Yes,
So create a universally applicable definition. Marriage definition collapse under the ethnographic diversity. So because of so many diversities, a single definition cannot be given. Before on that, we can see the Kathleen Guff definition. So Kathleen Guff, she was an American. She came to India to study the Nayars because Nayars is not fitting in any definition. If Nayar's definition, Nair marriage could be covered, she understood that it would be covered all diversities, then our definition will become a universal definition. She traveled all over from America to India. She resided in Nair society. She observed their society and she studied Tamil society too. So she framed a definition. Okay. So what is the definition of the Kathleen Guff? Marriage is a union of a woman. So a woman and one or more men. So marriage is a union of a woman and one or more men in such that relationship, if any children are born, should not be, should get a legitimate rights for the child. Under such circumstances, if any children are born, the child would get a legitimate rights, legitimate rights similar to that of normal children born in the society. Similar to that of normal children born in that society. So I am explaining. Marriage among the Nayars, according to Kathleen Guff, is that a woman and one or more men in that have a relationship. Under such circumstances, if any children are born, that children should get a legitimate membership in the society that is similar to other children. Understand? How non-Nair children are getting membership in the society and legitimacy, Nair children also similarly should get the legitimate membership in the society. So means if the children born from a Nambudris, they should get a legitimate children for the society as well as socially accepted child. Understand? So here, what are all the, so is it covering Nair definition or not? So in Nair, in a marriage, how many women is involved? Only one. How many men are involved? One is Tali Tayar, another one might be more than one Sambandha relationship. So one or more men is covered. Understand? So children legitimacy it is talking about, that is also accepted. But where it is failing?
Where it is failing in monogamy, one to one marriages.
Okay, she is right. Monogamy level, it is failing. Next, women marriages. Women marriages of Dahomey and New Year. Male marriages of Ajande. Next, so where it is failing? Poly.
Father, sir.
Is it covering polygyny? Polygyny, polyandry, polyandry. If you observe the Nambudri Brahmin, does he have more than one wife or not? A Nambudri man have more number of Nair women's relationship. So he has our own wife. He has his own wife. Except that if he has the energy, he could maintain a different Nair women as the secondary wives. That means a Nair Nambudri Brahmin has multiple wives for him or not. So it is covering polygyny. It is covering here one or more men, one or more, it's not the men, one or more person. She didn't specify the gender. So one or more person, a woman, one or more person. In person category, you can put as a female. So female marriages it covers. Okay. So in one or more male marriages cannot be covered because one side it is a woman, another side it is a person, not the gender she specified. One or more persons. It is a relationship between a woman and one or more persons. So that by bringing the person without having with neutral gender, it cover a woman marriages. It cover a polygyny. It cover a polyandry. Okay. It cover a monogamy. It cover a monogamy also. Here one person. In that person you can put as a male. Then it became a monogamy. She is not defining the Nair society. By taking the Nair society as a reference, she is trying to cover all varieties of the human societies. So here person plays one or more person, a woman and one or more persons. More person. So now I am taking person as a female gender. So one female gender. Here female. So can it covering one female marriages or not? So in this person category, can I put female gender? She is not explicitly said that one or more men. She said that one or more person. In this person category, if I inserted female, then what would happen? One side a woman, another side also a woman. So woman marriage is satisfied or not? Are you getting or not? Woman marriage is satisfied. So now in this personal category, if I put a male, a woman and one male, because it is a neutral gender, can it satisfy monogamy or not? Monogamy also satisfied. A woman. Here more persons, right? In this person you can put 3 females plus 1 male. More persons place you can substitute 3 females plus 1 male. Can it become a polygyny or not? In this more category, more persons, you put all more persons as a males. Can it cover polyandry or not? Polyandry. So now what we can say? So what it is missing? Woman marriages, monogamy covered, polyandry covered, gynae polyandry covered. So what it means? Only men marriages. Except this men marriages, Kathleen Guff definition satisfied all the marriages on the earth. So due to lesbian, homosexual marriage such as gay marriages, so it is historically practiced in human societies in the form of agendas. So only this case or definition failed. Understand? So you can put as a group marriages also. polygynandry also, because more persons, in between the more persons, the relationship might be a group of males and females. Okay, so this is how, by making a gender neutrality for one or more persons, she tried to cover all type of diversities, but it failed by putting a woman before the conjunction of and. It failed in the male marriages. Understand? So now it was the near universal definition or not? So Kathleen Guff definition was the near universal definition or not? Why I called as a modern definition, which was given in the 1968. Classical definition. So Western mark definition was given in 1890s. Okay. So modern definition. So now you can tell me. So our definition fit most of the societies, but not one type of society where male marriages are practiced. So now can we say any definition covered all diversities related to marriage existed on human societies? So Kathleen Guff invested a lot of time to cover the definition, and she to be failed, and everybody after this work, they gave up the work of or idea of giving a single unified definition which cover all the societies. Understand? So even we can say marriage is existed near universally in bracket except in our society. Covering all these practices, diversities into a single definition is difficult. Then they turned their study of marriages towards the what are all the rights involved, what are all the financial transactions involved, what are all the rules involved related to the marriage. Other dimensions of the marriage they shifted to study rather than focusing or puzzling on single unsolvable question of the universal definition. So if you try any definition which cover all the varieties, then you would be placed under the anthropological textbook as well as anthropological community. But the thing is, like, by the time of you are trying, urban marriage diversities are coming to being. They are live-in relationship, one night stands, fluid marriages, swappings. There are so much of dirt entered into the urban societies right now, and you have to be taken these varieties also in your definition. So that is impossible task. Okay, the traditional way of setup already done. Within this century, so much world transformed, new type of institutions emerged, and that was recognized by the legally by nations or their parliaments and etc. It is very difficult. So this is all about the marriage. So you can see Fox what he said about the marriage as universal presence. It is found in all the societies, but not a universal form. Form means same everywhere. Okay. So you can see Nimkov, he said that marriage means economic cooperation, coitus, residential co-residence is insufficient. So that things not only define the marriage, those are all not sufficient to define the marriage. So there are different people opinions. So Levy and Fellers, they said that anthropological definitions are unworkable. If everybody tried, everybody will fail due to unimaginable diversities that humans had created when it comes to marriages. So are you clear? This is over. So if you have any doubts, you can let me know, because it is a 20-marker question. And Kathleen Guff contribution for study of Nayer's society itself is a 15-marker question. Okay. So onset of marriages. What do you mean by onset of marriages? So a girl is studying in BTech final year. Their family called her and she went there. All of the sudden next day, some boy come into house along with his family, and they started negotiations. And after 1 month, they put a date of marriage. And once that marriage date come, they wedded each other and the process got ended. So now you can tell me, when did this marriage process begin and when did it ended? Marriage also a process, right? It has starting point and ending points. Can we say after tying a sacred thread in the neck is end of the marriage in our society? Or the ending of the first night we consider as the ending of marriage? So when this process of marriage began, when this process got ended, are you getting or not? Yeah, Lalitikala, you can tell me. So the girl coming, girl getting a call from the house is the beginning of marriage, or both seeing each other, both families conversation each other and fixing a date is the beginning of marriage. Anup, you can tell me. So in future you are going to get the marriage. So when this process of marriage begin in this context, this question is not yet come in the exam. There is high probability of coming in the exam. You should be noted it as a first priority. Okay. So cultural variation of onset of marriage, beginning of the marriage and ending of the marriage. So in our society, both families, a middleman come into being, he initiate the negotiation between the two families is the beginning of process, and it ends by wearing a tali. Okay, what happens in the first night? So would they continue their union or not in future? That is not fall under scope. So once the process got over, tying of the tali, no boy should not climb on the girl, no girl should not climb on the boy because they already coupled. Understand? So this is the end. In other societies, marriage has the economic angle, marriage has the reproductive angle, marriage as sexual union, so permanent staying, different things are there. So that diversities we can observe. So Taramut Inuit, these are all the Eskimo people, Inuit Eskimos. So Taramut Inuit, this we also we call as a Inuit Eskimos. Inuit Eskimos, where do they reside? Eskimos are living in a Arctic polar region, Arctic poles. The first thing in their society, beginning of the marriage is like the boy must approach. The people are living like a bands. Okay, in Eskimo, people are living like a bands. All the regions where they are living is nothing but a icy region. They surviving on the hunting. This is the polar region. They surviving on the hunting of seals, fishes, and any other land animals. So only hunters and gatherers survive here because no land is there. They cannot practice shifting cultivation, pastoralism and everything. Arctic oceans are there. So Pacific oceans are there. These waters are present here. The water bodies provide food to them in the form of seals, fishes. So now this is the band where 15 to 20 people are residing. 15 to 20 people, or some cases 30 people. And another band, another band, another band. Band means nearly 20 to 30 people. I am saying that between this one band to another band, hundreds of kilometers are there. No roadways and railways and everything. They have to walk by foot in this icy environment. So one of the band boy approached another band girl to get married. To get married, it is the beginning of the marriage process. Inviting a boy from another band to girls band is the beginning of marriage process. So once the boy come here, they give a girl before reaching a puberty. Before reaching a puberty, both are get wedded. So once she reached the, so both are get wedded. That didn't indicate their marriage is completed. Then when it got completed, so the boy has to stay with the girl's band, that is the bride's band, some period of time. Some period of time. So once she reached the puberty, and after puberty, both are indulged in the sexual activity through which the bride should get pregnant. The bride should get pregnant. Then the man with the wife and the pregnancy, he would take that girls to his own band. Understand? That is the end of marriage. If he failed to pregnant that girl, he has to leave the band and the process terminated in the middle. So here, what is the beginning of marriage? Boy invitation into a girls group is the beginning of marriage. When did this marriage ended? So the boy coming back with wife and wife coming with the pregnant wife to his own band is the ending of marriage. So ending of marriage. Understand? So is it same or different our society to their society? In our society, wearing a sacred thread, that is tali, is the end of marriage. But here, only legitimate offspring birth is the ending of marriage. If he could not able to produce a offspring, the marriage is not ended. He has to leave that. Their process was halted and annulled. So it won't be considered as a wife and husband. So that means very simple. He would be considered only husband of that girl when he make her pregnant. Okay, till that time he is not a husband for that woman. He is the trying husband. Okay, he is the trying husband before making her pregnant. So this is the unit tribes, beginning of marriage and ending of marriage. Hmm? So those are all exceptional cases. We are studying at societal level. Exceptional cases, women might be barren. Okay, so that how could they know? Because they didn't have any kind of laboratories to test and identify. If she has the menstrual cycle, means must and should she should get a pregnancy. So next, Trobrianders Islanders. So Trobrianders Islanders. So here, once they come into the age, a boy chooses a girl. If the girl also chooses the same boy, so they start walking together, eating together in their villages. They roam together wherever they go. In this process, they indulge in the sexual activities also. Even she might get pregnant also. That means when you can see, so when a boy and girl publicly behaving, they are together, that is sufficient to call it as a marriage in the Trobrianders Islanders. Understand? So marriage is signaled by the public cohabitation, by visibly telling all the people, we are all together. That they indicate like walking together, eating together, sleeping in same place. These are all the indications. So both they do chorus or activities together. So that indicates that the villager believed that they liked each other, they started their life. That is simple, that much simple in the Trobriander society marriage means. So after that, the acceptance of the gift by girl. So this boy one day he presents a gift to the girl. If the girl accepted that gift, marking of their marriage, end of their marriage, and they establish their own house. Till that time, they leave their separate houses to the parents and they live like a lovers. They live like a roaming each other. They do all type of activity. That is the beginning of marriage. Ending of the marriage means whatever the gifts given by the boy, if she accepted, that is the end of marriage. They are eligible to establish their house. Understand? So if she rejected the gift after 3 years, 2 years together, then what would happen? What would happen? So this is like RX 100 movie. RX 100's movie. She loved his body. She enjoyed, but she is not ready to get the marry that boy. So this is how the marriage is not completed. She is eligible to look at another boy and he is eligible to look at another girl. Okay, once she accepted a girl, then they are legally coupled. But their process had begun long time by showing to the villagers, by doing each other all the activities. That is the beginning. Accepting the gift is ending. So there are no other rituals, feasts and etc. No formal rituals. So it is society understood that they loved each other. She accepted both of the gift. She accepted the boy gift. Then they kept separate from the society. So they are wife and husband. So inexpensive. This kind of marriage is very low expensive, right? She might get a variety. Island means it is between the oceans. It will the boy get a different kind of peculiar good from the ocean. He submitted to the girl. She accepted. So no dowry, no bride price, no ritual, expensive feasting and everything. It's a very simple marriage. So that primitive people have. So coma of New Guinea. The coma of New Guinea, it observed in many societies, but coma of New Guinea. So here too, boy and girl, they whatever they do in the Trobrianders Islanders, they do the same thing. They walk together, eat together. So they share works. They participate in sexual activity and everything. So this is their daily routine. But the public watches their behavior and they understood that. So they liked each other. They are doing their work. So now end means this is the beginning of the process. Ending means so one day when they are living together in the same house, one day the girl prepares a soup for the boy. The boy take that soup and he will come out of the house and he will vomit that soup and louderly says that this soup is very worst taste or a bitter taste. So louderly he says that. So then the villagers understood that. So he ate the soup of that girl. Then we cannot do anything. Both are wife and husbands. So the moment he vomit the soup made by the girl, that marks the end of their marriage. Okay, till that time they live in their respective parents, but soup preparation giving and he vomiting and telling that she made a soup is very worst. That indicates that they started cooking also. Okay, till that time they enjoyed. Now they started cooking also. Now only required thing is they need a house for their survival. That they understood as a marriage. Understand? So here humor and ritual both are the customs. So the soup is not good, so I don't eat this soup. That pretended by a boy rejection of the soup is the marking of their marriage. So every society has beginning of the marriage and end of the marriage. So modern Western trends. So cohabitation as a trial marriage increasingly common. So modern Western trends, even in India also. So dating, living together, what are we called? In 1995, one of the survey done in USA shown that 50% of married women stayed with a male to find out he is suitable for her or not. So pre-marriage trial by living together in the same house, that we are calling as a datings nowadays. Earlier it called as a living relationship, etc. If their temperament is like to each other, they get married. Otherwise, they leave each other and they find their respective partners. So this is how Western societies are doing, and modern our India also not a exception for this. After 20 years, marriage means only living relationship. That is the way decided. Especially these kind of madness is very high in UPSC. So if you observe in Delhi and most of Hyderabad, this madness is very high. So we cannot blame them. So for every person, the peak growth is there, peak sexual activity is there, peak hormonal release is there. So that is 20 to 30, especially from 20 onwards, that growth occurs. By 30, downfall, 35, downfall, 40, downfall. First of all, we are all a biological organ. And the UPSC preparation and this peak growth, both are parallel. So we cannot control their behavior. Understand? So, but a responsible relationship, supporting each other, studying each other, so achieving their dream is important rather than, so it's like a perverted type of nature. So reindeer tongues. So reindeer means they are also polar region. Reindeers are present in the polar region, but these people are in Siberia. Eskimos are in Alaska region. So Siberia means northern portion of Russia. So here, so the camp of a Gaul present, the boy with his relatives, he come to the camp. Okay, so then the Gauls people will go to the camp of the boy and they start negotiation and they start a feasting. Then that group comes to the Gauls camp and Gauls camp will give the feast. Okay, all the people sit together. Understand? So the Gauls side relative, he introduced every member of the Gauls relatives to the boys group. Understand? So after that, they take the rotation of the group. Once they sit in a rounded manner, both boy and girl, they take the rotation around the group of both girl and boy. And after that, the boy kisses the girl kisses the boy. That is the end of marriage. First negotiations, but both camps are different. This group people will go to the groom's camp. Their feasting occurs. Groom's camp come to the bride's camp. their feasting occurs. Then these two groups meet one place where each other introduce to each other, and they sit in a rounded manner. The couple will rotate around the group, and they introduce each other. Then they start kissing each other. That is the end of marriage. So sometimes both group, when they sit opposite to each other, they might be sit in a circular fashion, or they might be sit in a opposite manner. Mock or joking hostility also prevail. Okay, joking hostility, they accuse another person, they accuse this group. This is how some duration they fight each other. That is mockness, not a real fight. So this is the marriage among the tongues of Siberia. So there is a one more custom, Gussi of Kenya. So this is somewhat, so how do the relationship between male and female decide? So wife and husband relationship is like a enemy or friendly relationship. How do primitive people will see marriage? So which type of boy generally girl likes? A friend or a kind of dominant boy? So beating, abusing, okay, hitting with leg. This boy is mostly liked by a girl, or a pampering boy is liked by a girl.
Pampering boys.
Huh? So I know answer would be opposite. So pampering boys are generally rejected. They are good boys. Good boys are generally rejected by a girls because they love these opposite conditions. So okay. So it's not our tendency. It's like a beginning of human journey. So marriage is like a war. Both wife and husband try to win over the war. So in Gussi of Kenya, it is war. So mock fights. The boy with friends comes to the girl's house. Okay. So he drags the girl, and the girl is trying to resist. I don't come to you. So here both will fight each other. So it's not like joking. Seriously, the boy drags because parents got approved. It is deciding who will win the between wife and husband. So wife try to resist not going to the husband. Husband with friends drag her. So in this process, because boy will win biologically stronger. Then the real situation enters. He will take that girl to his own house. Then he closes the door. Then the war begins. The act of sexuality begins. In this act, if boy wins, so he recognized as a husband. If girl wins, it is depend upon the girl's acceptance. Understand? The boy must and has to dominate and win the race of sexuality among the Gussi. Otherwise, if he failed and woman won that act, then woman decides whether she would accept that male or not. So this is how rivalry portrayed. It's seen as a hostility between wife and husband. Masculinity to be proved before accepting the girl as husband suitable for him, for her. So this is the Gussi of Kenya. So this is reflect the tension between a kin group. So wife and husband always seen as a rivalry. In the first day, if he bent the girl, if he subjugated the girl, he dominated over the girl in the first sexual act, she will be submissive for lifelong. Otherwise, he to be submissive for her lifelong. So this is how the marking of the marriage ends. Okay, dragging her, forcing her, and telling that I am dominating this girl, I am going to win this girl to the public. Inside the room, if he defeated, lifelong she dictates and he listens. So male masculine pride to be shown to finish the marriage. Otherwise, the marriage is not finished as long as he shown the pride. He win over the woman. So once he win over the woman, the marriage completed. So until every time woman is winning, the marriage is not completed. So this is the Gussi of Kenya, symbolizing hostility between a male and female. So Rotmula Island, promoting the harmony. Here both groups come together. The bride take as a singer role. She sings, entertain the both groups. If the groom's group is satisfied or entertainment activity, she would be invited into their group. Then it is the marking of their marriage. So very simple. So Rotuma Island. So both groups are present. So bride group, groom's group, they meet in single place. The bride has taken a role of entertainer or singer dancer, and she create a atmosphere through her acts. Both groups are feeling love, feeling friendliness. Then this groom's group invite this girl into their group. That is the end of marriage. It starts with both groups meeting and the female lead starting entertaining the other group, and when other group accepted her, end of the marriage taken place. So this is the harmony. So this is the Rootama Island promoting harmony. So these are all the diversities. So if you want, you can write our own societies also, but our own society, everybody known it, so they don't appreciate it. So these are all the different varieties when it comes to onset. Onset means beginning of the marriage and end of the marriage. So where some societies we have seen bride price is common. If the bride price is paid in the installment, okay, so you would not get a rights over the wife as well as the children until last installment is paid. That means here marriage begins so early, but it completes only the finance transaction completed between the groups. So that means ending is different, beginning is different. So you have to write all these things. So anthropological insights. These things, according to Malinowski, emphasized that cultural roots of sexual union, how these unions are formed, decided by the each culture. So next, so the virility and gender roles are socially validated. Male to be masculine, female to be submissive. That has to be taken care by the male only. By winning over, he has to be taken care that female should be submissive. So marriage rituals often mirror deep socio-political relations within the societies. So these things, if you want, you can write it. These are all the things important. So you can say that marriage beginning and ending is varies from society to society based on their customs, rituals, norms, and etc. So these are all the following reveal that diversities within the onset of marriages across the societies. And you can present one after another. So next one is dissolution of the marriage. So dissolution of the marriage. So dissolution of marriage or divorce. Not all the unions are compatible. In our societies, divorce are not allowed. So because we believe marriages are made in heaven, so it is the God tied. Some other societies, they can take the divorces. Societies are classified. So no divorce societies. So other societies, divorce, but no marriage. Third one, divorce and remarriage. So divorce and remarriage. These three type of societies are present. Understand? So we fall under the first category, but we come under the third category due to modernization impact or westernization impact. So this modern constitution, modern judiciary, modern law, all these things made us from one to jump into third. We can take the divorce, we can remarriage it. But before this constitution, divorce was not present. Before British ruling, no divorce in India. We don't believe that divorce. So these kind of societies, what are all the reasons might be? If non-compatibility, what are all the reasons generally you can presume? You can study your own way, you can understand it because there is no deeper concept. So might be non-compatible. So it ranging from silly reasons to serious reason. So husband is important, they can take the divorce. Wife is barren, they can take the divorce. Adultery, so she or he broke the trust, they can take the divorce. Understand? So there are multiple reasons. Quarreling on each other, frequent quarreling. Then elders understood that if they live together, they don't live with peacefully. They can allow to take the divorce. Laziness of the husband. Okay, only wife is working, husband is not contributing for economy. Yeah, society allows to take the divorce. So these are all the practical reasons. Some societies, a husband got a dream in which wife committed some adultery. That is also a reason he will take the divorce. In husband's dream, if he got that wife as a relationship with another person, he can report to the council Without having this thing, how could it come into my mind? That means it might have been continued, or in future also it might be continued if it is not continued right now. So that is also ground. Silly things, from silly thing to practical things, grounds vary for the diverse. So now, what are all the impediments for the diversity? Diverse impediments. So what are all the hurdles for taking the diverse? First thing, children. Where to be children grow. That is the condition. So children are acting as a stabilizing factors of the marriage. Second thing, marriage transaction. So if the society practicing bride price, the marriage divorce occur due to fault of the wife. Can he repay the bride price? In a bride price society, divorce occur due to adultery practiced by a wife. That husband reported to the council. They allowed to take the divorce. In that situation, can he repay the bride price? If the union broke by the female cause, there is no need of giving bride price. If union is break by male cause, he has to return the bride price. That means fear of the bride price also, it is stabilizing factor, because by that time bride price might be get over. So that is finance. So first one, children, finance. Third one, social kind of inferiority, societal inferiority. If a girl is frequently leaving the husbands, okay, every year she is getting marriage, can society give respect for her? So social pressure, we can say. So hardly, if one husband is not compatible, she can marry another one. Society accept it is genuine cause. If she is frequently changing the husband every year, every 2 years one, or a male also frequently changing the wives every 1 year or 2 years, the society stops the relationship with them. Okay, society put pressure and branded that the person is a immoral person. They don't satisfy with one. There is a dangerous person. This is how society also seen them negative. And some societies, every time if they go for the divorce, they have to give penalty for the village. Or council, tribal council. They have to pay penalty for tribal council whenever they take the divorce, to discourage the divorce. Okay, and they have to give the feast for entire village. Something has to be discouraged. Then what they have to make? They make it as a costly beyond their capacity, so that they always try to leave each other even they have the problems. So these are all the impediments in taking the divorce. So those things you can study. It is easily understandable. Everything discussion is a time waste. Okay, very rarely it comes. So if somebody asks you diverse reasons, everybody knows it. Okay, only conceptual thing we will focus. So by this, the marriage chapter got over.